Hello, welcome back to my channel. We have a 40-minute classical inspired mat flow today. All you will need is yourself and your mat, so let's just get straight into it. So let's just come onto our hands and our knees, just making sure that those wrists are shoulder distance apart and that those knees are in line with those hips. We're just going to start with some cat-cow, so take an inhale as you send your gaze forward, stick your tailbone out behind you. Then let's exhale to round that spine up to the sky as you scoop through those abdominals. Just going to go for a few more here. Let's just go for 3. For 2. And last one like this. Inhale, we round out. And exhale, we round that spine up to the sky. Whenever you are ready, let's just find somewhere in the middle of those two positions, so where your back is nice and flat and your neck is nice and long. Take an inhale here as you reach your right arm all the way up to the sky. Take a look at your palm. Awesome, right in my face. And then let's exhale to thread that right arm all the way through and under your left armpit as you drop your right shoulder to the floor. Inhale, we round and we lift up, looking towards that palm, just really getting that nice stretch, cool throughout that upper back and through your chest. And then let's exhale, thread it all the way through and in there. We're just going to go for one more on this side. Inhale, we reach and scoop. And exhaling through those pursed lips, we round and we thread that needle. Whenever you are ready, just come back to that 4-point kneel. We're just going to do exactly the same on the other side. So inhale, we reach and twist. Really open up through that chest. And then exhale, we thread it all the way through and under, dropping that left shoulder to the mat. Inhale, we reach and we twist. And then exhale, we thread it all the way through and under. But we've just got one more on this side. And then exhale, we thread it all the way through and under. Stunning. Whenever you are ready, just find that 4-point kneeling position once more for me. We're then just going to connect those heels together at the back, sink your bum back to your heels, just walk those hands out into your child's pose for a moment. Really reach those fingertips nice and long and get that really nice stretch and separation through those shoulder blades. And then whenever you are ready, we are going to come back to that 4-point kneeling position. So again, wrists are in line with those shoulders, knees are in line with those hips, and then just separate those feet once again. We're going to start working through our right leg. So take an inhale, and as you exhale, let's extend that right leg long behind us. Reach those toes away, squeeze into your bum and your hamstrings, and then inhale to bring that right leg all the way back in line with your left knee. Exhale, we extend. Inhale, we draw it back in. What we're trying to do here is keep those hips nice and square to the mat, so we're not rocking too much over towards your left side. Think about keeping your neck nice and long and centering yourself through your core. We're here for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. On this next one, let's hold that right leg nice and long now. So keep it up in line with those hips. Keep that connection from those ribs to those hips and keep your core squeezed. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, let's extend that left arm long in front of you. Try and bring your bicep to your ear. Now, once you find your balance, let's move everything together. Inhale, we scoop it in. Exhale, we extend away. Inhale, we scoop it in. Exhale, we extend away. We're just here for 3. Try and work nice and slow. For 2. On your next one, hold your left arm, hold your right leg nice and long. So holding it here. Take an inhale to tap those right toes down to the mat, and then exhale to raise that right leg back up. Inhale, we tap. Exhale, we raise without doming that stomach down to the mat. We're just here for 4. Inhale, we tap. For 3. For 2. Last one, hold everything lifted for me. Let's flip that left palm down to the floor. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, scoop your left elbow back to your rib cage, squeeze your upper back, and then let's lengthen the arm all the way back out as we inhale. Exhale, we scoop it in. Inhale, we lengthen. Nice, we're just here for 4. For 3. For 2. And last one like this. Extend that left arm. Let's hold it here. See if you can lift that right leg back up that inch. Just keep breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Scoop it all the way back in. Pop that left hand down to the mat. Again, let's connect those heels together at the back and walk those hands out into your child's pose. Just lengthen out any of that tension there. Give those wrists a little bit of a wiggle and do roll out if you do need to as well. We just need to do all of that again on the other side. So whenever you feel ready to, let's come back to that 4-point kneeling position. Again, just making sure those wrists are in line with those shoulders, knees are in line with those hips, and then again, separate those feet through. Let's start working through your left leg. So take an inhale. As you exhale, extend your left leg nice and long, reach those toes away, squeeze through your glutes and hamstrings. Inhale, scoop it all the way back in. We are just here for another 6. Nice. For 5, really think about centering through those hips, centering through your core, not letting those hips rock from side to side. For 3. For 2. On your final one, let's hold that left leg nice and long now. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, let's try and see if we can extend that right arm long, bring your bicep to your ear. Once you've found your balance, let's move both together. So inhale, we scoop it in, and exhale, we extend. We're just here for 3. For 2. On this next one, let's hold everything nice and long for me. Right arm, left leg. Inhale, we tap the toes down. Exhale, we raise the leg straight back up. Inhale, we tap. Exhale, we raise. Nice, we're just here for 4. For 3. For 2. Last one, hold that left leg nice and lifted. Flip your right palm to face towards the floor. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, scoop your right elbow back towards your rib cages, and then let's inhale to lengthen that right arm back out. Exhale, we squeeze, we scoop. Inhale, we lengthen. Create your own resistance with your own body. We're just here for 3. Nice. For 2. And last one here. Extend that right arm nice and long. Hold it long. See if you can lift that leg up an inch higher without compromising through your core. Just keep breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Scoop that knee all the way back in. Again, connecting those heels at the back. Sink your bum back to heels and walk those hands out into your child's pose. Again, just giving those wrists a little bit of a roll out here at the back if you do need to. We do have a tiny little bit more on those wrists before we change position. So whenever you feel ready to, let's come back to our hands and our knees. So just making sure that those wrists are in line with those shoulders once again. What we're going to do is walk ourselves out into your high plank position. So extending both of those legs long, just making sure that your core is drawn in and up and your bum is not piking up towards the sky. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, try and raise that right leg away from the floor. Squeeze your glutes only a couple of inches. Inhale, we tap it back down. Exhale, we raise the left leg away from the floor. Squeeze your glutes. Inhale, we tap. We're just going to stay here for 6. Nice. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Really nice. Drop onto those knees for a moment. Again, just come off those wrists, just give them a little wiggle and a roll out from here. We've got one final thing to do in this position. So whenever you feel ready to, coming back to your high plank. I know this is quite intense when we raise one leg away from the floor, so just make sure that you work with your breath here. Coming back into that high plank, we're going to keep that right leg raised away from the floor now. Take an inhale as you shoot your chest forward over your wrists. And then exhale, we scoop it back. Inhale, we shoot forward. Exhale, we scoop it back. We're just here for 6. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Pop that right toe back down. Let's do exactly the same on the left. Lift that left leg up. Inhale, we shoot the chest forward. Exhale, we drive it back. Inhale forward. Exhale back, just for 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Pop those left toes back down. Again, drop those knees. Final time, sink that bum back to your heels, lengthen those arms away. Again, giving those wrists a little bit of a roll out from here. That was your last little bit on the wrists, I do promise. So whenever you feel ready to, we're just going to roll ourselves all the way back up. Swivel yourself around to your seated position. Just make sure that you've got some room behind you and some room in front of you. All we're going to do is bend those knees up to the sky, feet are planted flat onto the floor. We're just going to work through some half rollbacks here. So let's hold behind your thighs if you can, sit up really nice and tall. Take a big breath in through your nose, and as you breathe out through those pursed lips, let's gently rock off those sit bones. As you roll back through those core muscles, coming into a halfway position here. When you feel like those feet are going to lift, we pause to take an inhale, and then we exhale to roll ourselves all the way back up, restacking through that spine, lengthening through the crown of the head at the top. Again, another big breath in at the top, a big breath out, we slowly scoop and we tuck, rounding through that lower portion of your spine, so keep that chest nice and open. Take an inhale at the back, and then exhale, we scoop ourselves all the way back up to the top, re-lengthening through the crown of the head. We're just going to go for 4 more here. For 3. For 2. From here, we're just going to progress this ever so slightly. So let's lengthen those arms out in front of us. Again, chest still stays nice and open, shoulders are drawn back. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, let's scoop ourselves back into your half roll back again. Take an inhale at the back to pause, and then let's exhale to roll ourselves all the way back up without holding on to those thighs now. Inhaling to lengthen at the top. Exhale, we scoop and we tuck and we roll. lots going on. Just making sure that those feet stay nice and flat onto the floor. Take an inhale at the back, and then exhale, we come all the way back up to the top. We're just going to stay here for another 4. For 3. For 2. On your next one, let's hold it in your half roll back. So come into this final one and let's hold. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, let's raise one arm up beside your ear without your chest or core moving. And then slowly lower it back down. Slowly raising the other arm up beside your ear. Don't let that chest or core move. And then we slowly lower. We're going to go for 4 more here. For 3. For 2. You've got it. Final one like this. Lower those arms and slowly reset that spine all the way back up to the top, really lengthening through the crown of your head. What we're going to do now is we're going to lengthen those legs nice and long. My legs are actually quite a bit longer than my hat because I'm so tall. So what we're going to do is sitting up really nice and tall, just making sure that those feet are hip distance apart from here, and then lengthening those arms nice and long. We're going to come into our full roll down now. So take a big inhale. And as you exhale again, gently rock off those sit bones as you scoot and round through that lower portion of your spine. Rounding and rolling until each vertebrae rolls down onto your mat really, really nice and slow. Oh, that sounds right in my face. Once you reach the bottom here, take a big breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out through those pursed lips, let's tuck that chin, re-stack that spine, and lift yourselves all the way back up to the top. Find that leg at the top, so sit up really nice and tall, open that chest. Take an inhale here. Exhale, we scoop and we roll. Inhaling at the back. Exhale, we scoop and we roll all the way down. We're just going to go for 4. Nice. For 3. We really want to make sure that we control this roll back. You might get to a point where you feel like your core wants to just give up on you and you want to just flop down onto the floor. So just really think about going nice and slow. Slow and steady always wins the race here for sure. Still in for 2. On your final one, let's come into your half roll back this time. So as you are rolling all the way down, just find your halfway position again with those legs nice and long. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, let's raise both of those arms up overhead as you raise that chest up only an inch. Slowly lower those arms back down in line with your shoulders as you lower your chest back down that inch. So exhale, we raise. Inhale, we lower. We're just going to stay here for another 6. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Still in. Last one like this. Lower those arms back down in line with those shoulders. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, roll yourself all the way back and down onto your mat. Again, with that slowness and with that control. Stunning, really nice. So I'm just going to shuffle myself a little bit further from here because, like I said, I am a little bit too tall for my mat. So what we want to do is now place the soles of your feet onto the floor, shine those knees up to the sky. Just make sure that when those arms are nice and long, that you can touch your heels with your fingertips. If you can't, then those feet need to shuffle a little bit closer towards your body. And then we just want to make sure that those feet are hip distance apart from here. Popping your hands flat onto the mat just beside you. Take a big breath in through the nose, and as you breathe out, let's tuck that pelvis under as you peel that spine up and away from your mat, driving those knees forward, lifting up into your high bridge. Take an inhale here, and then let's exhale to scoop and roll that spine all the way back and down onto your mat, with that tailbone hitting last. So really focusing on that form of getting that roll and that tuck of that spine. So exhale, we begin with that tuck of that pelvis, we peel all the way off. Knees drive forward, we drive through those heels to lift up through those bum muscles. Take an inhale at the top, and then we exhale to slowly roll ourselves all the way back and down, one vertebrae at a time, until that tailbone hits last. We're just going to go for 6 more here. Gosh, the sun is absolutely blinding though. For 4, for 3, for 2. On your next one, let's lift up into that bridge, let's hold it there. So peel that spine up and away, hold those hips up nice and high. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, let's float those arms up in line with those shoulders, and then inhale, float those arms back to your mat without those glutes dropping. Exhale, we raise. Inhale, we slowly lower. We're just going to stay here for 6. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Lower those hands back down to your mat, but keep those hips nice and high if you can. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to try and march one of those legs into your tabletop position. Fabulous. Inhale to pop that foot all the way back down onto your mat. Keep those hips nice and stable. Exhale, we raise the other leg into tabletop. So we're starting to find that single side strength now. I know those glutes will definitely be switching on. What we're trying to do here is keep those hips nice and steady and stable, so we're not rocking too much over to one side. So we have to squeeze through those deep abdominals to be able to do that. Exhale, we lift. Inhale, we lower. We're just going to stay here for 4. For 3. Stunning. For 2. One last one like this. Exhale, we raise. Inhale, we lower those feet back down, and then we exhale to slowly tuck and peel that spine all the way back and down and to your mat again with that tailbone hitting last. I'm having to tuck my flares into my socks so that they don't ride all the way up towards my thighs. Just don't mind the appearance of my legs now. What we're going to do now is still working through those bridges, just making sure that those heels are close enough to your body from here. I'm actually going to have to close my eyes because I cannot see a single thing right now. I'm not complaining, but still, I'm getting blinded. So, whenever you're ready, let's take a big inhale. And as you exhale, tuck your pelvis under as you peel that spine up and away from your left. Once you're there, we're going to hold it here at the top. Take another big breath in. And as you breathe out, let's lift that right leg up into your tabletop position. Fabulous. Another inhale here. Exhale, extend it long. We're working really nice and slow today. Let's flex your right foot. Exhale, we lower that leg down in line with your left thigh. Inhale, we point the toe, we reach and sweep. We're here for 6. Keep those hips nice and steady for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Hold that right leg lifted now. Let's bend it back into tabletop. Take an inhale here. Exhale, extend that right leg nice and long. Inhale, draw it back into tabletop. Keep the toe pointed now. Exhale, we extend. Inhale, we draw it back in. Just for 4. For 3. For 2. And last one like this. Bring that right leg back into tabletop and slowly peel that spine all the way back and down onto your mat. Oh, really nice. We just need to do that again on the other side. So making sure that that right heel is now nice and close to your body once you put that foot back down. Again, hands are just down by your sides. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, tuck that pelvis under, peel that spine up and away from your mat. Squeezing those glutes at the top. Take another big breath in here. And as you breathe out, let's raise that left leg into tabletop now. Another big inhale and exhale, extend that left leg long. Gorgeous. Another big breath in. Exhale, we flex the foot, we lower that leg all the way down. And then we point the toe, we reach and sweep it all the way back up. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, we reach and we sweep. Just here for 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Hold that left leg pointed up to the sky. Now let's bend it into tabletop. Exhale, we extend away. Inhale, we draw it back in. Exhale, we extend. Inhale, draw it back in. Keep those hips nice and steady. We're here for 4. For 3. For 2. Last one like this. Bring that left leg back into tabletop and slowly peel that spine all the way back and down onto your mat once again. Just give those legs a little bit of a hug into your chest. Wiggle from side to side if you need to release any of that tension in your lower back and into those glutes from here. You can stay lying down onto your mat from here. What we're just going to do is lengthen those legs nice and long onto your mat. Pin your left heel into your mat and flex your left foot so the toes are drawn back to your shins. Take an inhale as you raise that right leg up in line with those hips, ground down through your palms onto the mat. We're going to open that right leg out to the side. We're going to slowly draw a circle with those toes and with that whole leg all the way over and across your body whilst you keep those hips nice and stable. So inhale as you open the circle. Exhale as you complete that circle. So if you were to pop your hand on your tummy, you'd be able to feel your deep core muscles working here to draw the circle for your leg. Just making sure that those hips stay nice and stable. So you're trying to keep that left hip nice and grounded onto the mat through squeezing through your deep core muscles. We're just going to go for 2 more in this direction. Last one like this. Let's lift that right leg all the way back up and down with those hips. Let's take it in the opposite direction now. So take it all the way over and across your body as you inhale. Exhale, we open it all the way back up. Only drawing that circle as big as you can manage without that core rocking and those hips moving from side to side. Just here for 3. For 2. And last one. And slowly pop that foot all the way back and down. Lengthen that right leg long now. Pin the right heel into the mat and draw your right toes back towards those shins. Now let's go to our left leg. So point your left toe up to the sky. Straighten it as much as you can. Take an inhale as you open out to the side of the room. And then exhale to complete that circle all the way up and across your body. Again, you can pop your hands onto those hips if you want to feel them stabilize here. And only drawing that circle as big as you can manage. Just here for another 2 in this direction. Last one. When that left leg is back up and on with those hips, let's switch directions over. So inhale as we take it over and across your body. Exhale as we scoot all the way back up and left. We have 3 more here. Last one. And slowly lower that left leg all the way back and down onto your mat as well. So from here, we're going to get onto some core to finish today. So whenever you are ready, just bending those knees up to the sky. Place the soles of those feet onto your mat, and then let's bring those fingertips to your temples with your elbows nice and wide from here. If it feels better for you, you can create a little cradle behind the back of your head, but just make sure to not curl your neck as we take these curl-ups, okay? So take a really big inhale, and as you exhale through those calf slips, let's lift up from those legs as they come up into your abdominal cow. Slowly lowering those head and shoulders all the way back and down as we inhale. So exhale, we lift and we squeeze those ribs down to those hips. Inhale, we slowly lower. We're just going to stay there for 6. For 5. I'm still being blinded right now by the sun. For 4. For 3. For 2. On your final one, let's lift up into that abdominal cow. Let's hold it there. Hold those head and shoulders lifted. Now take another inhale. As you exhale, try and raise one leg into tabletop, then followed by the other. Really nice. We're then just going to reach those arms out long in front of us now, making sure that those palms are facing towards the floor. Take an inhale as you lower those head and shoulders down from here, just keeping those arms exactly where they are. And then let's exhale to lift back up into that abdominal cow, draw those ribs down to those hips. Inhale, we slowly lower. Exhale, we lift. Just going to stay here for another 5. They're going to just really working nice and slow. Try and find that pause at the top. You'll be able to feel those deep core muscles switch on that a little bit more. For 4. For 3. For 2. On this next one, let's lift up into that abdominal curl. Let's hold it there. Hold it lifted into your cow. Now take another inhale. As you exhale, extend a single leg long and away from your body. We slowly draw it back into tabletop and we switch sides. Exhale, we extend. Inhale, we draw it back in. Really nice. We're just here for 6. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one, hold whichever leg long that you have landed on. Now let's draw those bicycles with those legs. We're doing really big circles, inhaling and exhaling as that leg floats away from you. We're here for another 4 in this direction. For 3. For 2. For 1. Now let's reverse. So draw those backward circles. We're here for 4. And for 1, and look those knees into your chest as you lower your head and shoulders down for a moment. Just give that neck a little bit up, wiggle from side to side. Release any of that tension. So from here, we're going to come into your single leg stretch. So grab a hold of your shins for me. Lift up through your head and shoulders. Extend your right leg long, holding onto your knee and your shin with your hands. Take an inhale here. Exhale to hug the left knee closer into your chest. Inhale as you switch, and exhale to hug the right knee into your chest. Exhale, we begin. Inhale, switch. Exhale, hook in. Think about that middle back grounding into your mat from here. We're here for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, last one like this. Meet me in that cowed up shape that we started off with. So head and shoulders are lifted, both legs are squeezed together, we're holding onto those shins. Take an inhale as both legs and both arms float away from the body now. And then exhale to put those knees back into your chest without lifting your shoulders lowering down. Inhale, we lift them. Exhale, we hook in. Then we're into your double leg stretch now. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hook in. Really nice. We're just going to stay there for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. And lower those head and shoulders down. Again, just give that neck a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. We're going to come back to your single leg stretch, but we're going to straighten those legs now. So again, let's meet up in this curled up position here. Lengthen your right leg long and hover it away from the mat. And then lengthen your left leg long up to the sky. Again, same principle. We exhale to hug in here. Inhale as we switch. Exhale to hug in. Try not to pull on the back of your knees. Rather try and hold onto your calf and your hamstring if you can. We're here for another 6. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Let's come back into that hugged in position. Keep those head and shoulders lifted if you can. We're going to pop those fingertips at those temples now. Elbows are nice and wide. Both of your legs are going to extend up to the sky. Squeeze those heels together. Take an inhale as you lower your legs away from your body. When you feel your core engage, exhale and lift those legs all the way back up. Nice. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, we raise. We're just going to stay here for 6. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. And bend those knees in, lower those head and shoulders down. Really nice. We've only got a little bit more to go now. We're going to come into those bicycles. So again, whenever you're ready, fingertips are still at your temples, elbows are nice and wide. Lift up into that abdominal curl and let's hold it here. Take another big breath in, and as you breathe out, let's rotate that chest. As you extend your opposite leg long, bring your opposite knee to opposite elbow, and then we inhale as we switch. Exhale as we twist and rotate. Inhale as we switch. Where you're trying to get that opposite shoulder blade away from the mat. We're here for 6. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And for 1. And hook those knees into your chest. Just lower your head and shoulders for a moment from here. We have just got one final thing to finish, and that is our 100, of course. So you can either keep your feet flat onto the mat. We can lift up into our abdominal curl from here and pump from those shoulder joints from here. Option 1. Option 2 is to raise those legs into tabletop. Option 3, we can extend those legs out and in. Or option 4, we can just hold those legs out as we pump from those shoulder joints from here. I will count you in to inhale for 5, exhale for 5, until we reach the full 100 counts. It does go quite quick. So whenever you're ready, just have those hands down onto your mat once again. Choose your option with those legs. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, let's lift up through those head and shoulders and hold it here. Let's start pumping from those shoulder joints. We inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And hip those knees in. Lower your head and shoulders. Just give that neck a little bit of a wiggle from side to side from here. Lengthen out any of that tension in the back of your neck. Let's just pop those two toes down onto your mat, squeeze those knees together. We're just going to rock those knees out from side to side. Again, releasing any of that tension in your lower core and in your lower back from here. Just take a few moments to breathe, just to let any of that tension melt away. Lengthen those legs nice and long onto your mat from here. Feet are flexed, so toes are drawn back towards those shins. We're just going to take a nice roll up to get to seated. So take a big inhale, and as you exhale, let's lift up through those head and shoulders, coming into your forward fold at the top. So just melting that chest over those thighs. And then whenever you're ready, just sit yourselves up from here. We are just going to stretch out through your core a little bit. Let's just swivel ourselves around to come to a kneeling position just like this. Walk your hands out in line with those shoulders, lengthen through those legs, and let's drop those hips down to your mat. Just really press those palms away, and then untuck those toes at the back. Really think about opening up through your chest and taking a little twist and a swivel from side to side here. Just letting out through any of that tension you've just built up. Let's slowly lower that chest down, bend through those elbows. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, press that chest back up and see if you can get a little bit more length through those core muscles. Again, just taking a quick rotation from side to side here. So whenever you're ready, bring that chest back to the center. Connect those knees together as you bring your bum back to your heels and leg out back into that child's pose. Take your final big breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth here. And then whenever you're ready, slowly glide those hands onto your mat as you tuck your chin and round through your spine, lifting all the way up with your head coming up last. And that is you all done. At the top here, let's just take some backward shoulder rolls just to sit up really nice and tall through that posture. Really well done today. That was a nice little flowy one to do outside for sure. Apart from me being blinded by the sun for the whole time. I'm not complaining though, it's actually warmed up quite a bit now.